All right. Well, welcome everyone. Again, my name is Murray Miller. I'm excited to be here tonight to share with you the 3-year retirement plan. For those of you that just joined us, if you'd like to also view the slides online, you can go to join.me/global exec team, or you can download the Join Me app to your mobile device, and you can view that way. Either way, we're excited to have you on the call, and as always, if you have the opportunity to close a door and get to a quiet place where you can focus for a few minutes and potentially grab a pen and paper so you can take a few notes and make sure that you do get all your questions answered. We're probably going to go through a few websites tonight that we're going to refer you to so you can do some research after the call, but whatever the case is, we're excited to have you here, however you got here by some stroke of fate, whether you were invited by a friend or a family member, business associate, you saw something online. However you got here, you're here, and we're excited to have you. Again, my name is Murray Miller. I'll just give you a quick background on myself. I've spent most of my adult life in the business owner mode. I currently am part owner of 3 different businesses, CEO of 2 of them, president of the other one, and I've got employees, and I've got clients, and I've got investors, and I've got partners, and I've got all the things that keep me busy during the day, most days and throughout the year. However, I'm not going to talk about any of that stuff tonight. I'm going to talk about something else that keeps me up at night, and something that my wife and I do together, and she started actually just a little over 2.5 years ago, and you're going to hear how that has made such an impact and why we are doing this workshop tonight on the 3-year retirement plan and what it is. So let's talk about the residual income strategy through this 3-year retirement plan that you're hearing so much about. First, I think it's good to back up and talk about what a typical retirement plan looks like. And when you're saving for retirement, typically we try to save a percentage of our income. And 10% is a normal amount that people try to save. Some people can save a little bit more. Some people can't save nearly as much. But with regard to what we end up with at retirement age, it's usually just a fraction of what we're used to earning in our peak earning years. So it makes it a little more difficult to retire with less money than we had while we were working and more time. No question about that. Now, employees that work for someone else, we're given the opportunity to save through vehicles like a 401k or a 403b or a 457 plan if you're a government employee, stock options, things of that nature. So we have other vehicles that we can use. People that are business owners or self-employed, they can save a percentage of their earnings through an IRA or annuity or life insurance policy or a self-employed retirement plan. There are several different ways that the government gives us that allows us to save money and to save money on taxes during the time where we're actually making those savings, and then eventually we'll pay taxes on it when we retire. So that's traditional. And there are some roadblocks that go along with traditional retirement. Let's talk about a couple of those. One of them is that consumer debt is currently at an all-time high. So as we're saving, we're also spending, but we're not spending our money, we're spending on credit. Borrowing money to pay for our home, borrowing money to do our vacations, borrowing money to buy cars, and our consumer debt is at an all-time high. That becomes a roadblock towards retirement. Now, healthcare costs are completely out of control, and health is declining. So we've got to deal with the healthcare costs, and then we have to deal with poor health at the same time. These are both escalating expenses and things that are taking place that are really extraordinarily hard to deal with as you're trying to save towards retirement. There's unemployment in this country and around the world. There's underemployment, people that are employed for less than what they're worth, or they're overqualified for the job that they're currently in. These are also roadblocks towards retirement. And one of the things that I'm intimately involved with is higher education. One of my companies is a college planning company. I've had that company for 14 years, and we're dealing constantly with the staggering cost of a 4-year higher education, and many times it's 5 or 6 years, and we're looking at numbers here that are so high that our children are borrowing and mortgaging their future to the tune of $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 over 4 years that they have to pay back before they even have a job. So all of these things become part of the roadblock towards retirement. Now, many times we have our own parents, us baby boomers, that have parents that are outliving their retirement savings. So they're moving in with their kids, which are us, and we've got our own kids, and it just makes retirement saving that much more difficult. So there's a number of different things that are eating into the way that we save for our retirement. So we have to wonder, is our current system really working? Well, look at the statistics. If you're following along on the slides, you're going to love this slide because it shows you that out of every 100 people at retirement age, 49 of them are dependent, fully dependent on either family or charity every single day, every single month from a financial standpoint. 29 have already checked out, so 29 people have already passed away. 12 people are broke. 5 people are still working at the age of retirement, and 4 will be financially independent. Just 4 out of 100, and only 1 will be wealthy. So to me, the system's not working. Those aren't good numbers as far as I'm concerned. But tonight what I'd like to concentrate on is how the 1 out of 100, the 1%, became wealthy. How did they do it? Well, they accumulated their wealth by, first of all, being very bright people. 10% are CEOs and presidents of large corporations. Stock options and bonus plans made them wealthy. 10% are athletes and entertainers. So they had some super talent, whether it's singing or dancing or throwing a football, whatever the case may be. 10% became wealthy through their own devices. 10% did it the old-fashioned way. They got it from mom and dad. They inherited their money, and we've got another 5% that are just super salespeople. We all have met these types of people that can just pretty much sell anything to anyone and are in a position of leverage, so they're able to create wealth through their sales skills. But the overwhelming majority, 65% of the 1%, had created their wealth through owning their own business. So when you look at that statistic, you think, okay, Murray's right on it. We cracked the code. We figured it out. If you want to create wealth, or your chances of creating wealth into your retirement years are by owning your own business. So let's dissect that just a little bit and talk about owning a business. Are there any barriers of entry to own your own business? Well, there are, and some of them can be overwhelming in the form of working capital, rent, legal, accounting, salaries, insurance, inventory, advertising, taxes, accounts receivable. The list goes on. And according to the Small Business Administration, 4 out of 5 businesses fail in the first 5 years. 4 out of 5, not a good number. Your chances of success are very, very limited. And it's just 1 in 100 companies that start up every year, just 1 in 100, that make it to their 10th anniversary. So owning a business, although it has good chance of helping you create wealth, statistically, it's very, very difficult to make a business work. So what do? Well, you commit a lot of time to it. You put as much time as you possibly can. And many of these people that own their own business basically are working 80, 90 hours sometimes to keep it afloat, to keep it going. They basically own their job. No one can fire them, but they become a slave to their business. So that's no lifestyle. What would happen if you got sick, or what happened if you stopped working just for 30, 60, 90 days? Would the business even be there when you got back? Do you have any leverage? And what I'm leading up to here is there's got to be a better way. What is the perfect business? Is there such a thing? I know people aren't perfect, but maybe a business can be perfect. If I had to describe a perfect business to you, it would have the following traits. Number 1, it would have no inventory. I don't want to have to stock inventory. I don't want to have to pay for something that I don't get paid on until I sell it or until it moves out of the warehouse or wherever it is. I don't want overhead. I don't want something that every single month, every single year, I have overhead that I have to pay no matter what happens. I have to get out of bed, accounts receivable, legal, accounting. This is a perfect business has none of these things. A perfect business is in a rapidly expanding industry, not an industry that is flat or declining. A perfect business has time leverage. As J. Paul Getty first introduced us to, and the country's first billionaire, he said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. It makes perfect sense. That is time leverage. That's where you can not only create wealth, but you can create residual income and lifestyle to go with it. You need corporate leadership and a vision with whoever it is that you're involved with, that they have a vision for the future. What is the vision? Where are they going? How excited are you to lock arms with the people at the helm? Exponential growth and worldwide expansion. Perfect. If you can get into a business that's growing rapidly, timing is everything, and you're in just as it's starting to go through that exponential growth, and you can expand on that on a worldwide basis. You're not a prisoner to your own geography, where you work, where you live, within that 10 or 15-mile radius, that's the perfect business. And it has to have lucrative compensation and, of course, residual income that goes on with or without your efforts once you've built it once. That is the key to a perfect business. Well, let's talk about the coming of age of an industry. This is a Forbes magazine article that was written not too long ago, and it says, "Would you join a network marketing company for retirement income?" by Robert Laura, contributor, retirement activist. You know, the thing I love about this article is this guy always sort of was on the edge and sort of poo-pooed the industry until this article came out in Forbes, and he was saying this can work. This industry has come of age, and you know why it's come of age? He says that an entire industry that is poised for explosive growth can be one of the most significant solutions to the American current retirement savings crisis. And the article goes on and talks about this. Network marketing, according to Robert Kiyosaki, says the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else just looks for a job. And that's why he's on the front cover of Why We Recommend Network Marketing with Donald Trump recently, talking about the industry itself and how the industry is really taking the home-based business by storm and the professionals that are getting involved in this industry. Bill Gates says if he had it to do all over again, he would choose network marketing. One of the most successful, well-known billionaires in the world would choose network marketing. And what about these guys? Game changers, people like Stephen Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, who has put the entire world in our hands with Facebook and the iPhone and the iPad, and having the power of contacting people on a worldwide basis for free through apps like WhatsApp and through Facebook and through Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. It's absolutely amazing how social media and mobile technology are the perfect fit for our industry of network marketing. Well, let me introduce you to Isagenix. Isagenix is born in 2002 and has done an amazing job creating one of the most fastest growing networks in the history of this industry. Isagenix has solutions to transform lives, impact world health, and their goal, their vision is to become the largest nutrition, health, and wellness company in the world. Being a part of that is not only exciting, it is significant. Corporate vision of $75 billion worldwide, currently doing less than $1 billion. Next year, 2015, according to Jim Coover, our CEO and founder, says that 2015 will be our first year that we will do $1 billion in sales in 1 year. And up until that point, we haven't come close. We're doing about $2.8 billion cumulatively since we've been in business in 2002. Here's a recent newsletter. On the cover of this ISA newsletter, there's 5 individuals. The interesting part is they're all from different parts of the world and country, and they're all different people as far as their backgrounds. They're ordinary, but they have all had extraordinary results. 7-figure income earners, every one of them, all earning over 6 figures per month. And here's the interesting part, all done within a 2 to 5 year period of time. This is the 3-year retirement plan that I'm talking about. If you can only imagine, and I'm gonna close this after Susan speaks in just a minute on how this can actually work for you, how you can plug into this and make this work. So extraordinary people with extraordinary lifestyles. Prosper Magazine, 100-plus millionaires. We're up to over 125 millionaires. Here's a picture of a high school guidance counselor who became an Isagenix millionaire. Below, a picture of the youngest millionaires in Isagenix history, 26 years old, Emily and Hayden. Amazing what is taking place in this company. Well, I'm excited right now because I get a chance to introduce Susan. Susan has been my partner in life for 30-plus years. We are so excited about what she's been able to do with the Isagenix business in such a short period of time. In just a little over 2.5 years, Susan has been the driving force behind our Isagenix business. Of course, I've been very supportive of the business all the way through, but I've been busy with all the things that I do. And you know what, Susan, you've said this so many times. It's funny. When the money starts coming in, the men show up, and the men have certainly started to show up. Susan's background is from the personal care industry. She was in marketing and product development in that industry for many years, very, very successful, and she was introduced to network marketing in the late 1980s. She became an industry millionaire within a few years of getting involved in her first network marketing company. She is, without a doubt, a residual income expert. And I'm so excited to have her on the call tonight. She was originally prospected into Isagenix by Kathy Coover, who is our vice president and co-founder. She didn't join the company when she was originally prospected. When Kathy started the company, the timing wasn't right in her life. Later, a few years later, she was prospected by Herb and Patty Cepeda, who have gone on to become the number one income earners in the company. She said no to them as well, but 2.5 years ago, it came back around. Kathy called again, and the Cepedas sponsored us into the business, and you're going to hear the story in just a minute of what's taken place since then. She is literally on the 3-year retirement plan. Susan, are you with us? Can you hear us?
I am here. Thank you for the introduction, Murray.
Excellent. Take over for me.
So, good evening, everyone. I am very excited to talk to you guys this evening because, for me, Murray mentioned the fact that I was first introduced to network marketing. It was actually multi-level marketing back then, and it was such a different industry at that time, and many of the companies today are still utilizing the format of multi-level marketing, which is strange to me because this industry has come of age, and the Coovers are leading that charge with Isagenix because they were able to look back in the industry 20-plus years later and saw what worked and what didn't work. And what Mari didn't mention to you is after I was able to, and my husband actually joined me after the first year of me building the first company I was with, he did sell off his business. I sold off my cosmetic company at the time and his property and casualty business, and we pursued that company and traveled the world and had the most amazing experience that you could ever imagine because you could literally remove the need to have to work in one physical location. You could work anywhere you wanted to work. You had people all over the world, and your money went with you. All you needed back then was basically a phone, right? And so what he didn't mention to you is that I walked away from this industry for 15-plus years, and there was a reason for it, and that was because in hindsight, what we were able to identify was that multi-level marketing really, truly rewarded the people that got in early or the superstars, those who are going to be successful no matter what they did in life. And that is not the crux of what network marketing was really, truly meant to be. Word-of-mouth marketing was meant to be by sharing a product with people and allowing them that personal experience of sharing that product to bring that to other people and let that natural exponential growth take place where if you've ever heard of the penny doubling, if you took a penny and you doubled it every single day for a month, what happens is that it's a 100% compounding effect. So the 1 turns into 2 and 2 into 4 and 4 into 8. And so by the 10th day of that month, it's at $10 if you started at 2, 2, 4, 8. And by the 20th day of the month, it's $10,000. But by the last 30th day of the month, it is over $10 million. That is exponential growth. That 100% compounding effect. And what happens that if you allow that to naturally take place and you remove the fact that you were forcing people to be into a salesman position, which is what these companies were doing, first and foremost by having levels there, they made you have to work in a position where you had people past your pay level so that you wouldn't work with those people. So they took away that team building compensation concept. They also made you meet very difficult criteria, which they were forcing you into being a salesperson. And the everyday person is not that person. They're simply sharing something that they cared about, that they would use whether they were sharing it with you or not, and the company was rewarding us for doing that, except that they got caught up in making this into a business and forcing you actually to be their marketing arm. And so when I realized there were way too many people that were not succeeding, and there was a compression model built in place where the people would be squeezed out and all the money would roll up to the top, because it was based on levels, and what you wanted to do is where's the biggest volume is in the lower levels. And if you had people that were inactive, you wanted to get those people out so that the volume would roll up to the people at the top who were doing most of the effort and most of the business building. But there's an innate flaw with that. What is the last thing you want to do is squeeze anyone out of a company that you work so hard to bring them in. Consumers are the biggest part of our business. In Isagenix, 83.5% of the people that are involved in our company are pure consumers. 11.5% of those people are what I refer to as your fans. These are people that simply are sharing the products with family and friends and maybe getting their products paid for, maybe earning somewhere under $500 a month. Only 5% of the people pursue this from a business perspective. And those people are rewarded the largest volume of the money, but everybody else no one's getting squeezed out because it doesn't matter. We're not paid on levels. There is no compression model. And so when I said no to Kathy Coover when she called me when they started this company in 2002, it's because I wasn't open to listen that they had learned a better way. They had figured out a better way to do this. And because I wasn't open to it, I missed that opportunity of being a founding associate in this company. That's on me. And when Patty and Herb Cepeda called me, that's when it was the wrong time in my life. But I still wasn't open, but it was the wrong time in my life. I had just started another company. And so I couldn't focus on that. And I always tell people, we're not here to sell anyone anything. What we're doing here is we're sharing information with you. And if this is the right time in your life and you're open to it and this fits into something that you can see for yourself, then we have something that we can do together. We are simply sifting for interest for the right people to be in our company. We see everybody as being product consumers because we know we have a product that has a result attached to it. It's emotional, it's consumable, and it is result-oriented, and it is perfect for the network marketing industry. But not everyone is going to want to pursue this from a business standpoint. And the beauty of this company is that they have a product, and the natural exponential growth of that product can take place. And you can start to see that penny doubling, but you're going to put the person there and a product being consumed, and they'll consume it whether they're getting paid or not. And you're going to see that natural exponential growth take place. And there's nothing that is keeping people from being able to share that and maybe offset the cost of those products. And nobody needs to be squeezed out, and nobody's being offended or being sold a dream that they couldn't potentially accomplish because it was too difficult. And so, therefore, what you're seeing is so many people succeeding. The last decade of this company was a product story. The next decade of this company is a money story. And it's a money story because it's earned the right to be. Because we have so many people that are so successful with these products that they're sharing it with people regardless of getting paid for it. And now that the opportunity has proven itself because the compensation plan has come of age and they've squeezed out, they've gotten rid of all the things that didn't work. And they kept what did work, and that was word of mouth works. It's the most cost-effective, incredible way of bringing a product to market. And you couple that with a product that's emotional and consumable and result-oriented that people are going to physically see results on people. They're going to naturally talk about it because it's part of their life. It's changed their lives. And so that is a key factor in finding your success. You know, I was watching CNN yesterday, and I thought that was very intriguing. They talked about market interrupters. And Apple was an interrupter. It disrupted the way we communicate. And then Google disrupted the way that we get information. And the Internet disrupted the way that we buy products, right? Well, network marketing is disrupting the way that we earn a living. It's all about doing something better. And when Mari talked about coming of age of the industry, that is what network marketing is. In its purest form, Isagenix has figured it out. They have criteria that you need to meet if you want to make bigger money. But they put in place and they separated the leadership money from the everyday people's income. And you realize that anyone could follow the natural progression of you plus two, them plus two, and earn up to $700,000 a year without ever becoming a superstar by naturally allowing that progression to take place. And as long as you stayed in the game, as long as you stayed in the program and you consume these products, when people say to me, well, you have to buy product every single month, I'm like, yeah, of course we do. The company is saying to you, if you are a consumer of our products and you share it, we say thank you by redirecting what normal big business companies will do is put millions and millions of dollars into the marketing of their company by branding it, which in my mind is no more than brainwashing. And instead, they put it into the wholesale cost of these products and they say, thank you so much for sharing it, for being the endorsers of our product. We want to reward you by saying thank you and sharing that with you. And they put 50% built into the wholesale cost of that product is their advertising budget. And so if you want to be able to earn money from this, you become a consumer of these products and you share it with people. But what I do tell people all the time is if you talk product, you will sell product. If you talk business, you will build a business. And inside the business is our product. We can't have a business without it. It only makes sense, right? And so when we talk about the 3-year retirement plan, let me just take a second here and cast a vision for you. And that vision is simply this. What if you could remove the concern of money from your life? What if you could send your kids to whatever school you wanted to? Many of us are baby boomers on this call, and we have kids going off to college. Our daughter is graduating a 4-year college. That college cost us $250,000 minimum. That was just the cost to send her there. We were not in a position, my husband does college planning for a living, we were not in a position that they were going to give us any money. We make too much money for that. And so we had to pay that full amount. What if you were in a position that didn't matter to you? You could send your kid to whatever college you wanted to. You could live in whatever town you wanted to, whatever home you wanted to, drive whatever car you wanted to. You can go on vacation wherever you wanted to, and money was not a factor in the decision process of what you were doing. You could retire whenever you wanted to, wherever you wanted to. You could throw the most beautiful weddings for your children whenever you wanted to, wherever they wanted it to be. Money never played a factor in any of those decisions. That is what this 3-year retirement plan is all about. Because, see, what we know to be true is anyone that applies a consistent, concerted effort over a 6-month to 9-month period of time, you have to allow that penny to double. And it takes a concerted effort of 6 to 8 to 10 hours a week consistently. This is exactly the same as if you were going to go to a gym every single day for 1 hour a day for 6 to 8 months to a year. Are you going to see results? You better believe you are. And the best part of this compensation plan is this company figured it out, is that they pay us along the way. They pay us significant money along the way. We call it the front end of the compensation plan, where there's a lot of temporary income. Do something, you get paid. Don't do something, you don't get paid. That's fine. It's traditional business. But they're doing that to help us build through that process. Majority of the people that do this business are doing it alongside their careers or raising a family. You see many stay-at-home moms or women who want to be stay-at-home moms take on this business. And as Murray said, and I've always said, is when the people are making money, when the checks are coming in, men show up. And that is why you're seeing so many men coming in droves right now, being able to walk away from corporate America just 6 months, 8 months, a year into this business and replacing full-time career incomes and under a year with this business model. Because this is a disruptor in the industry. This is just a better way to make a living. And we're not just making a living, this is legacy living, because this is willable. So in a period of 3 years, you're able to earn whatever that number is for you. We know, and we are on track to earn that $1 million. And not just ourselves, many people on our team are doing the exact same thing. $1 million within a 3-year window of time. That puts most people out of debt, no matter what it is where you are at your life. $1 million in a 3-year window of time will pretty much take everybody out of debt. And be able to put yourself in a position to max out at least one business center, and you can build as many as you want, but one business center of the you plus two, them plus two is $700,000 a year. That is a cash flow that means you do not ever have to worry about where the money is going to come from when you have an exit strategy, when you want to stop working, when you want to be able to start living. And what this allows us to do is not wait till we're in our 60s and 70s and 80s. Our daughter is graduating college this year from the top entrepreneur school in our country. And her choice of income, her choice of career is through network marketing and through Isagenix. And yes, because she sees the success that her parents are having, but she also understands the industry. She understands that she wants to own her own business. And what better business to own is when you do not have to have all of the downside and you have all of the upside. So I thank you for taking the time for letting me share that with you this evening. Murray, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And for those of you who hear what I'm saying here tonight, if you heard enough to create enough interest, just get back to the person who's talking to you. Listen to the things that we're saying to you this evening and see if it fits within your life. Because if it does, this is the real deal.
Powerful, Susan. Powerful. It's almost anticlimactic for me to finish up these last few slides. Well done. I'll just go on and I'll say, for 3 years to create exponential growth and see that penny doubling and have a residual income stream. And in the case of blowing out one business center, as Susan talked about, we're talking about an income stream of $40,000 to $50,000 a month. I mean, that may be ridiculous outside of your comfort zone to even think of those numbers, but they are so real, so possible. There's been over 125 people that have become Isagenix millionaires in this company in a short period of time. You can expect that during your first 12 months, you can generate $50,000 to $100,000 of residual income, including some of the bonuses and the front-end money that they put into the plan. Within the second 24 months, you can hit mid-six figures. I have heard on our team alone, and our team is one of the fastest-growing teams in this country, which is awesome, in the company, actually. And I've heard so many women retiring their husbands, and I'm loving hearing this, women retiring their husbands. You know what? Like Susan said, now the guys are jumping in and they're saying, hey, wait a minute, this is real. This is not about going on a diet or losing some weight or, talking to a few people about a product. This is about a residual income stream that goes on with or without your efforts. Possible within 36 months to hit high six figures, no question about it. So many have done it. As I said, that's maxing out one business center at $700,000 in residual income per year. So how do you stack the cards in your favor? First of all, you need to remove yourself from the economy. Get into an industry that is that it goes through recession and that increases because people use this product day in and day out. It's what they eat. They have a full meal. They have a program that they can rely on. They tap into it. You have to tap into exponential growth and to this company momentum. The 12-year proven track record with over $2.8 billion in sales, with our 25 full-time scientists that are involved in the company, 125 plus millionaires. According to Bill Gates, he says, if we don't act on a good idea within 24 hours of hearing it, we're less than 50% likely to ever act on it. And if we haven't acted on it inside of a few days, then we're less than 2% likely. So the point of the slide is that if you're interested, find out what's next. Experience the products for yourself. Talk to the person who invited you on the call tonight. Ask them about a product package that makes sense for you. If you're going to begin the business, most people begin it part-time. They don't jump in full-time, but they do work deliberately. Like Susan said, putting in a certain amount of hours every week is the key to your success. Be coachable. Talk to the people that have come before you that are having success. Follow the proven system and start with the end in mind. What is your 3-year retirement plan? What is your exit strategy? What can happen for you, like what's happened for us in just 2.5 years, to create this incredible residual income? And just commit yourself to 36 months. Think about what, even car loans, people are taking out 4, 5, 6-year car loans. Commit to 36 months to your own retirement. Get involved with this and get excited about it and see what can take place. The first step is always the hardest. Knowing that you need to make a change isn't enough. You've got to find the guts to do it. We are the Global Exec Team. We are excited to have you, and this is your invitation to join us. Thanks for being on the call tonight. We look forward to hearing from you, and we certainly look forward to talking to all of you. Thanks for being on the call. Good night, everyone.